Hello, angel babies. Welcome or welcome back. I'm Trisha, and this is Trisha's Temple. I'm so excited for today's reading. It has been a little bit of a difficult task to get to be able to film today because I am in the middle of a move, but I'm looking forward to looking at what's ahead for us in 2026. This has been the year of the snake, of shedding, and we're going into the year of the horse, of movement, of the wild heart. And I want to see what our theme of the year is, what we might still need to shed before the end of the year, and allow us to be able to move completely into this beautiful year of the horse, what's arriving, and the gifts of 2026. And then we're going to also look at an archetype or a guide that might be walking with you in this next year ahead. We're going to also start out with a theme word, and we'll circle back around to that word at the end of the reading. So let's look at your options. First, we have this beautiful Amethyst Druzy. She's gorgeous. This was given to me by my cousin for my birthday, and I love her. Next, we have this flower plume agate. Stunning. And last but definitely not least, we have this banded Chalcedony agate with a Druzy in the center. I just learned some of these words, and I think they're really fun to say. Druzy. So, take all the time that you need to make your selection, and I will see you in your reading. Love you. Bye. Hello, Pile One. If you chose this Amethyst Druzy, then this is your reading. We are first going to choose a word from my magic bag that will be the theme word for your year. So I'm closing my eyes and I'm choosing out of the magic bag. What is Pile One's word for the year? Your word is courage. Oh no, now I'm hearing a song from my religious upbringing that it goes something like, that has the line, fresh courage take. Which I actually like that line, so that's not too bad. So with the word courage, I think that courage can be kind of a loaded word. It can feel like you have to abandon or ignore your fear, ignore your intuition that is telling you, hey, like, maybe we shouldn't do this. This doesn't seem like the best idea. And I think that you might be adopting a new relationship with the word courage, that you can be courageous without abandoning your boundaries, without abandoning what you believe in, without jeopardizing your body, your intuition, your instincts that tell you when something isn't for you, that you can be courageous in doing that. That you can be courageous by saying no. You can be courageous by going more slowly, or by separating out things that you're doing from a place of obligation versus a place of genuine love, devotion, pleasure. I think that you are going to develop a mindset around courage that feels like it's really coming from inside of you instead of what other people have told you courage should be. There's this phrase that goes something like, words don't have meaning, they call forth meaning, which to me means that everybody can have a different relationship with an individual word. For example, the word love. If I say love, it's going to bring up the emotion of past experiences, times when somebody said that they loved you. It's going to maybe reflect on how you're feeling in any given moment, when dependent on emotional, hormonal fluctuations, or how much you've had to eat. And that each word that we hear, each conversation that we have, allows an evolution of meaning for that word. So now let's look at your theme of the year through the lens of your major arcana that I pulled from this deck, the Phantasma Tarot. Your major arcana is the Magician. Did you know that actually complements courage very well? The Magician is going to be your power to create I heard create chaos. Create a storm and a swirl of colors, patterns, from like your inner world, and like what would be chaos to somebody else, what would be confusing to somebody else. It's like you're able to transform that into something really beautiful. I want to get your next cards and see what else is coming forward. We're going to look at what you're shedding next. This is what you're shedding. Walking staff, support and encouragement. Then the gifts arriving. The Fool. And then this is the archetype or guide or whatever source of inspiration you will have supporting you in the year ahead. The Panther. So it's interesting to think of this walking staff support, encouragement as something that you are shedding or releasing. There might be specific people, systems, ideologies, frameworks, whatever that you are letting go of that were some sort of crutch, some sort of support for a while, and you're seeing, you know what, like I actually don't need that anymore because I've found this, that I can source that guidance from within myself. For example, like when you're a child and you're using a bike for the first time, a lot of times you'll put training wheels on the bike. And so you ride the bike with the training wheels to practice, to get more comfortable, to find your balance, to feel like, oh, like I know how to move the pedals. I'm getting comfortable with the way that my muscles move in this way. And then your parents will take off the training wheels and allow you to start practicing riding the bike. They might hold on to the back of it for a little bit, but eventually you're able to ride the bike on your own. And I think that that is something that you're going to be releasing this, like from 2025 into 2026, is a feeling of I need this particular coping mechanism, or this group of people, this system that was some sort of like protective bubble, training wheels, or felt like it helped you to find your footing for a while, that you're able to put the walking stick down and walk on your own. That you are able to source that support and encouragement and sense of accomplishment on your own. That's not to say that you won't find other guides, but you won't feel as reliant on external forces to validate you or give you that like push to keep going in the same way that you did. As for the gifts that you're going to be receiving, the Fool. You're going to it's just interesting that you have this symbol of kind of this staff, this, like, you are taking your own support, your own internal passion and creativity, your own magic, and using that to go towards whatever it is that excites you. And it's been described to me in this way, that there is something called vertical energy and horizontal energy. Vertical energy would be things like emotions, spirituality, things that are like more to do with not necessarily like actually moving your body. It's more of like the 5D experience. And I think that you are going to be gifted this in 2026 with more ability to bring your energy back into your center, more ability to then decide how you want to use that energy. And if that looks like more 3D movement, if it looks more like more adventures and creation externally, you'll be able to do that because you have a greater awareness of where your energy was going and how to collect it back into your center. You're also going to have more, it's like going back to ground zero, going back to this state of from here, everything else expands. That I am the well, I am the source, I am the magnetic center from which all of my energy flows, instead of trying to go out and get the energy from other places or expecting your self to match or catch up to other people's energy. That like you are the one creating the pace. You are the one deciding where you want to go from here. And that feels, instead of like, oh no, where do I go from here? It's like, where can I go from here? Anywhere. And it's very much like you're creating a foundation for yourself that feels purely you, authentically you, instead of muddled by the expectations of anyone, any other system outside of you. Your gift for the next year is choosing your own course, choosing your own path. Yeah. As for your personal guide, the way the way, the truth, and the light. That's so funny. That's another line from my religious upbringing. Is the panther, and I want to read about the panther in the guidebook. 39. The panther. Spirit of vulnerability. You don't need to apologize for who you are. The spirit of the panther says, let yourself be seen. It is time to love yourself and let people love you just the way you are. It is only through vulnerability that true love can be accessed, but it is a risk because it means you allow people to see you fully, including the parts of yourself that you are ashamed of. And it can be scary, but it is the only way to open yourself up for healing. By being vulnerable, you stop feeling sorry for yourself and stop apologizing for who you are. You start taking up your space in a sincere and loving way. And this healing expands to the people around you. They can feel safe. And we all need this safety of being able to be human without having to pretend we are perfect. In balance, daring, feeling vulnerable, being honest, being intimate, forming genuine connections, being authentic. Out of balance, feeling shame, fearing rejection, fearing intimacy, being fake. The guide walking with you is one of who is very attuned to you, who shows you that it's okay to break down, to show your humanness, that you don't have to be perfect and hold it together all the time, to be strong, to be the one who has it together, because what does that even mean? That you're allowing yourself, this guide is showing you how to allow yourself to be the fool, to be the one creating your own path in a way that is honoring of your system, your energy, your flow, your creative desire, and to want things again. This beautiful guide, archetype, part of you is inviting you to open yourself up to receiving love in your vulnerable moments, and to be more aware of the people, situations, pacing of your life that doesn't match you, and to be okay with it, to recognize that it is not a suggestion or evidence that there's something wrong with you. It is simply a misalignment of, oh, that person isn't for me, and that's okay. I will find people who are my people, who do align with me, who feel resonant, safe, like, yeah, this feels like home in my body. This feels like I can soften and open and be completely myself without fear, constant fear of rejection. And I think that ties in really well with courage, that one of the big themes for your year being courage, that one of the pieces of that will be the courage to open yourself up to being seen in your entirety, in your darkness, in your light, in your messiness, in your strong moments too, because sometimes we might be more comfortable sharing the certain aspects of ourselves, like, oh, I'm struggling with this, and it is harder for us to share when we're feeling more successful. But you're accepting all facets of you and allowing that to be seen. That your theme is courage to be the magician who lives in like a complete embodied, the word is like a collection of, oh, I have this piece of me and this one and this one and this one, and which part do I want to bring forward and highlight in this particular moment, not in a like masking way, but in a, I have so many different facets of myself to honor at any given moment. And that not every person in your life that you come across with needs to have access to all of you all the time or ever. And you're becoming the sovereign creator, the one who moves and flows with your own rhythm and chooses your own pace that honors your that has the courage to meet that nervous system wherever it is. As an act of love. So those are the messages that I have for you today. Pile 1, thank you so much for being here. If you have appreciated this message, I would be so grateful if you would like, comment, subscribe. Check out the links below if you're interested in a personal reading or working with me in another way. I also have a free resource available. And I will see you in the next reading. Love you. Bye. Hello, Pile 2. If you chose this flower or plume agate, then this is your reading. First, we are going to choose a word out of my magical little bag here that is going to be the word that represents your year ahead. So I'm going to close my eyes and choose your word out of this bag. What is Pile 2's theme for the year ahead? Return. Okay. So the messages that I'm receiving from the word return are things like return to center, return to self, return to what you truly value. A return of the feminine, a return of clarity within the body, and that you will be establishing more of an understanding of what the word return means for you throughout 2026. That perhaps you have an idea of what it means to you now, but over the year it will kind of evolve or take a new form, take on a new energy for you as you see your life unfold and yourself return to things that you used to love. And you might be inspired to do things like create a playlist of music that you used to really enjoy, or that gives you that vibe of return, or a mood board of similar things throughout the year. It might feel like you're having like these little like aha light bulb moments throughout the year where you're returning back to the word and you're like, oh yeah, that's what that is meaning to me now. So now let's look at your major arcana theme of the year. The Hanged Man. You know, that actually fits pretty well with this. It's like a flipping of perspective. The word that's coming up is like nostalgia, but not in a like I need to just hang out in the past because nothing will ever be better, but it gives the flavor of when things from the past come back because they have truly transformed and will fit into your life in a new way. Like when you reconnect with an old friend, or when you watch a show that you used to love and get something different out of it this time, or same with like reading a book you used to love, and just have that different perspective on it because you've moved through different cycles, different phases and seasons of your life, and now looking at it through this lens, you're like, oh wow, I didn't see it at that time, what this would mean to me later down the road, but I'm so glad that I had that experience, or I'm so excited for like, it's a lot of like connecting the dots energy, I think, that you're going to experience throughout this year, where things that you like, seeds that you planted earlier in your life are starting to have this like domino effect of, oh wow, like remember when I like helped that one person out, and then like now they're coming back and supporting me in a way that I never would have imagined. Or remember that like thing I was learning about years ago, and like now I can see how that information that I learned is helping me in this creative project that I'm working on. Stuff like that. So now let's look at what you are shedding. I'm gonna just lay out the rest of these cards. What you're shedding, your gifts. You got 2 cards for that. And your guide, an archetype, or like an energy within yourself that will be a support or walking with you throughout the year. Just make sure all of those are in frame. Okay, so what you're shedding, preserve. With the squirrel just like nibbling. Security, forethought, thrift. So what comes up for me in this is that you are going to be shedding a lot of scarcity mindset, a lot of things. It could be like quite literally around rationing or feeling like you need to be very careful around money, food, clothing, like a lot of like your physical possessions, so much so that it feels very limiting, restrictive, or like you can't live fully because you're always waiting for the other shoe to drop, or like you never know when something bad might happen. I think that you're going to start letting go of that even to like a deeper, more in a more complete way through the rest of this year and into the next, as you start to settle into a feeling that you are safe, you are held, you have the resources that you need when you need them, and that you also don't, quote unquote, need as much as like you're not always chasing the next thing as much. You're a lot more settled in where you are right now. It feels much more peaceful and grounded, like I'll get there when I get there. A feeling that while there might be chaos going around the world or in your community or even closer to home, that you have a lot more internal peace, goodness, I'm having a lot of burping. That you have released a lot of the old attachment system, the old need to hoard resources for fear that there won't be more coming. And you're finding ways that feel honoring to your system, honoring to yes, I do need to eat. I do need to have some of these like basic human needs met, but I don't need to be in a fearful state about doing so. In fact, I will be better able to meet those needs when my nervous system is calm, regulated, doesn't feel so under pressure all the time. So the thing that you're shedding, releasing, is the belief or old structures, systems that placed a lot of pressure on you to plan ahead, to always be thinking about what comes next, how to be safe, how to thrift, how to, like conserve, and softening that. The gifts for 2026 are the Ace of Pentacles and the Knight of Cups. And the Ace of Pentacles as a conversation or like a story from this, what you're releasing, is really perfect. That you have, like I was saying earlier, even like about planting seeds, that you are seeing the fruit of the seeds that you had planted, and you're realizing how you're never truly without. There's always, this is more where that came from. That the universe, the earth is providing for you as you open yourself up to receive what's around you. And as you're getting more creative with how you receive. That perhaps you had a more narrow perspective, or only were allowing to receive in one way, and now you're allowing yourself to receive in many ways. That it could come from so many different directions at any moment. And because you've opened yourself up to that, it's happening more. It will be happening more too. In 2026, it's going to be a year of, it's like, now I'm hearing this song of like, if all the raindrops were lemon drops and gumdrops, so what a rain it would be. I'd stand outside with my mouth open wide saying, ah, 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 ah. If all the raindrops were lemon drops and gumdrops, so what a rain it would be. That, like, you are standing outside with your mouth open wide, just ready to receive whatever is coming your way that can be like so delicious, so just exactly what you want and need. You're getting creative about it. Your nervous system is even like turning into like that more childlike, wonder-filled way of seeing the world, where it's like at any given moment I could turn a box into my favorite toy. You know what I mean? That some of our best, most favorite moments, most abundant experiences come in the silliest, most mundane things. And with the Knight of Cups, honestly, the Knight of Cups is this emotional heart on his sleeve, writing in with a love note type of knight. That this knight knows that he doesn't have it all figured out yet, but he really wants to start an emotional conversation that can go somewhere more fulfilling. So that might be like an actual relationship with somebody in your life, but it could also mean like your relationship with yourself, like a continuation of this Pentacles energy of kind of a more emotional side of why you're able to feel more open. It's the emotional openness, the receiving emotional experiences. It's like when somebody compliments you and you're able to say, yeah, like I am awesome, or yeah, like that was like I was successful in that moment, and give yourself, like, truly receive it. And we have the horse here. You're the horse. So you have some of that momentum, that forward energy carrying you through the year with how your emotions are teaching you, how your emotions are our instructors, our information about your energetic system. And then the whale. The whale is your guide, your archetype, a piece of you, or if you have some guides that you like to speak to, then this guide is a whale, the whale is a support on your 2026 journey. Let's read about the whale. 34. Spirit of Temperance. Find the balance in the chaos. Hey, I think I said something like that. Things are not happening to you as a vendetta of the universe. The furniture is not hitting your little toe on purpose. Life is not trying to get you. But if you've been living in anxiety, it sometimes feels like you are being pushed by everything and everyone around you. So if you've been feeling unease, the spirit of the whale brings you the message of temperance. Find the middle path. Find the balance between reasoning and emotion. Don't react with the impulse of your emotions. It is better to let the ocean of your feelings settle so you can act instead of react. Also, don't act from your rational mind because you may become too strict and practical, disregarding the sensible needs of your heart. It's in the balance between the mind and the heart that the spirit finds moderation and self-control. So go with ease, take your mind, don't be impulsive, don't say yes unless you mean it. Don't offer more than you can handle and avoid extremes. Living in intense feelings is tempting, but it will quickly wear you down. Instead, try always to find the middle ground. Having self-control, moderating, having patience, keeping calm. Out of balance, lacking self-control, overreacting, feeling triggered, acting impulsively. So what I'm actually getting from this message is less about you being somebody who's particularly impulsive, because I think that you actually might have the alternate side of that coin. You might be somebody who is more of a hold it all in, keep it under wraps, conceal, don't feel, don't let them see. I'm not going to burden other people with my emotional experience. And then that ends up becoming a weight that you are carrying around, and it causes you more physical, emotional, financial, like whatever stress, when it is okay. It is okay to open yourself up to love, to financial support, to all of the good things that life has to offer, to stand outside and open your arms up and just remember that the universe is not on a budget. And that the whale spirit, the whale guide for your 2026 year is saying, you don't need to carry it all on your own. I'm just channeling my inner Dory. It's not all on you. I think that your 2026 year is really about acknowledging that you can ask for help, that you can delegate, that you can receive the tiny little gifts that people offer you, whether that's through emotional exchanges of compliments, whether it's through when they open the door for you, you know, just like those like little tiny moments, and then you're like allowing that to you're allowing yourself to soak that in and watch how it like replicates. It has this snowball effect in your life and expands outward from you, that you become a magnet for it. And it returns back to you. All of the times that you gave to other people, all of the times that you poured out, even when you were feeling empty yourself and didn't have much to give, now all of that is coming back to you, and you don't have to give from the empty cup anymore. You're allowing yourself to return home to center, stay more grounded in your own body, in your own awareness, and receive. So those are the messages that I have for you. I hope that you have an amazing rest of the year and 2026. If you have enjoyed this video, if it's been supportive to you, I would be so grateful if you would like, comment, subscribe. Check out the links below if you're interested in more support, personal reading, mentorship. I also offer a free resource, so check out those links below. And I will see you in the next reading. Love you. Bye. Hello, pile 3. If you chose this purple moon with the Druzy in the middle, then this is your reading. First, we are going to get a word that represents your year ahead. We're going to pull it from this magical bag. I'm going to close my eyes and pull it out of here. What is pile 3's word of the year? Sensual. And I'm going to tell you a secret. This is the word that I chose for myself for 2026. So that's pretty great. This might be my reading too. So the word sensual, it can be a word of like sexuality, but it can also be a word of connecting to your senses, a word of truly being rooted in pleasure and appreciating being in your body. I think that 2026 is going to be a year for you where instead of being so in your head, overthinking, second guessing, you're going to be asking your body, what's next? What do you want? What do you want, body? What would you enjoy? What would feel aligned and energizing or soothing, or whatever it is that your body needs in that moment? That it will be about truly relishing in what it means to actually have a body as well. That there are aspects about being human that are truly just a drudgery. It can be really hard and challenging, but I think that you're going to be really enjoying more of the things that are make you feel more alive and like it's worth being alive. Okay. So, the next card, or this first card that I'm going to pull for you, is the theme of the year. It's your Major Arcana card. And you got the High Priestess. This card is your energy throughout the year in conjunction with sensual, which, you know, that's actually, that hits, that checks. The High Priestess this year is going to be your feminine energy truly coming alive in you. She wants you to celebrate your flow of energy, your intuition, your instincts, your inner world, and how that expands into bodily awareness. That it's not just about being in the head. In fact, that's a more like distorted perception, that throughout the year of 2026, you're going to really experience the little details of warmth and coziness, and I'm hearing that word. I don't know how to pronounce it. It looks like Hyge. It's like Hygge or something like that. I think it's like a Norwegian word that means like home, coziness. So it's like that, but like within yourself. And then how you then bring that into the details of your life through the way that you make your home beautiful, through the clothes that you choose, the fabrics you choose, like all of those teeny little details, the way that you enjoy your food, the way that you go on a walk and appreciate the rocks that you're walking on, or the butterflies flying next to you, the way that you create a sensual playlist and sink into how that feels in your body as you're dancing. So let's see how that's going to carry into what you're releasing throughout the rest of 2025, if you're watching it in 2025 and 2026. And then your gifts, as well as this is like your mentor guide archetype that's coming forward in 2026 to walk with you. Okay. So what you're releasing, the word is rosemary, remembrance, loyalty, and faithfulness. This is such an interesting thing to be releasing. I think that you are really noticing old patterns of, oh, I'm loyal to this system, I'm faithful to this plan, I'm faithful to these people, or this way of doing things simply because it's what I was told. It's just, a habit. And like really shedding a lot of that to be able to grow from your own creation, grow from like a nutrient dense system instead of from like a very like weeded, overrun soil that just wasn't nourishing you. That you had something buried for a long time that felt like it might have been weighing you down, or like it didn't really belong to you. You didn't need to carry it anymore. It wasn't actually yours. And you're able to shed that now. You're able to put it down, send it back into the universe. Put that thing back where it came from, or so help me. Or so help me. And just remember that your faithfulness, your loyalty actually lies within you, that you are first loyal and faithful to yourself, to what you value, what you like, to your own authenticity, instead of like outdated ideologies, or even on a smaller scale, realizing, you know what, like I don't have to clean like this. I could, get help, or I can go at a slower pace, or I can like create a system that works better for me. Just because I was taught to do it this way doesn't mean that it's quote unquote right. It might have worked for the person who taught me to do it like that, but it doesn't mean that it's the one true way to clean. And that way of opening yourself up to doing things differently, to doing things that in a way that fits you, is going to be translating through all aspects of your life. It's really hitting in that like through like that high priestess lens of the high priestess isn't like running around like a chicken with her head cut off. She's very sovereign. She's very seated in her truth, in her throne. If anything, people are running to her. Because she's so magnetic. And so you've pulled your energy back into yourself. And you're asking your body more intentional questions about, like I said earlier, like how do I actually want to do this specific task or handle this conversation with somebody. As for what's arriving in 2026 or the gifts of 2026, we have the Knight of Wands, and I actually am going to read what it says in the guidebook for you. I'm curious. I think that a gift of 2026 is going to be one of moving your passion. Like in 2025, you might have started to see like little buds starting to bloom when it came to your creativity, your passion, your excitement for life coming back online. And that in 2026, I don't know if I said 2025. In 2025, that was what was happening, that you're seeing that like flicker of the flame starting to happen. And that in 2026, you're going to see that momentum, that passion just like catching fire even more. That the seeds that you had planted, the buds that were beginning to blossom are just expanding and growing even more. And you're feeling less vulnerable, less childlike in your in the creative realm of your world, in the way that you express yourself, in the way that you share what you love. Let's read what it says. The Knight of Wands is a figure of great action. She embodies the determination and courage required to pursue her goals. If you encounter her, it means that it's time to act, to carry out your plans and follow your passion. She asks you to experiment, confidently embracing change, and to challenge yourself by pursuing your ambitions with conviction. Very energetic, she may at times overdo it, especially when she's invested in the action she's pursuing. She's impulsive and instinctive, just like the energy symbolized by this card. Courage comes from the strength of your heart. Draw from the source like Gretel and her rebellious energy. Yeah, I think that you might have a gift of a little bit of rebellion in you, that like you might be going against the grain a little bit from things that you grew up with, things that feel comfortable, and you're going to feel more courage, more empowered to move outside of that comfort zone. But it's not coming from that like, oh, I have to face my fears and like nothing will keep me down. I have to like go after my dreams at the risk or at the what's the word? Like no matter what. You're quite grounded in yourself, in your energy, and that's what's giving you the courage. that you are nurturing yourself. You are honoring your own pace. You are slowing down and resting when you need to. So the momentum, it feels a lot faster to you. It feels a lot like more things are happening, or like your world is transforming in ways that you have always dreamed of, but maybe on the outside it looks slow, or maybe it's not in a way that other people might deem as, like, on a piece of paper, other people would say, oh yeah, that's success because, you know, like you drive the nicest car or whatever. That whatever success means to you is really grounded in your lived experience and observing the way that you've seen other people chase things that didn't actually bring happiness, that you're realizing, you know what, my version of success looks like me being at peace with who I am, being confident in my own energy. It looks like me being able to create what I want to create, how I want to create it. And that you're able to create that momentum for yourself. That your gift and what's arriving for you is more a surety that your path is unfolding at the right time, the right pace, in just the right way for you, and that you actually are enjoying a lot more of the process. So the last card is your archetype, your guide, the part of you or a spirit guide walking with you. We have the otters. The otters are just like a softer, more playful and relational, familial energy. They are reminding you that it's just tying this in quite beautifully, that you're feeling a sense of completeness, and that like steady rhythm, and it's like a steady heartbeat, like ba-boom, ba-boom, ba-boom. this is my path. This is the direction I want to go. I'm more confident in my choices, and I don't need as much external validation. I don't need the constant feeling of more or pressure to be productive or achieve or always be doing something. It's just a more settled in the moment, allowing the sensuality that sometimes is more seductive and sexy, but sometimes it's also more like this cuddly, cozy, lounging by the fire type of vibe, or basking in the sun. Okay, let's see what the otters say. Spirit of unity. Life will bring you the love you deserve. Make sure you know what you deserve. The energy of tender otters reminds you that the soul craves feeling connected to the source. When it feels separated, it will try to find a way to heal. The healing is sometimes in the form of self-love, by being your guardian and giving yourself the nurture and care you need. But other times, this healing comes from a mirror on the outside in the form of a relationship. A deep connection will bring you awareness of yourself. It might be a romantic relationship or simply a strong bond with someone else, such as a family member, a friend, or a business partner. But this connection will help you to recognize your light as well as your shadow. It will test you, but it will also allow you to grow and become conscious of the patterns in your life that need changing. Remember, everyone is a teacher and everyone brings a lesson you were meant to find. You were meant to find them. In balance, creating healthy and collaborative relationships, loving yourself, finding romance, experiencing joy, feeling loved, feeling empathy. Out of balance, projecting your insecurities onto others, lacking self-love, developing unhealthy relationships, being selfish, feeling lonely. I really think that this year is going to be one where you are feeling a lot more at home in yourself, and that is allowing you to connect with places, people, experiences that also mirror that to you, that bring that sense of home on the outside, that you've created it internally, you're creating it in your world through the little details of your life, and then it's expanding beyond that as well. And it's going to feel so, I keep saying the word nourishing. It's going to feel complete, and like you don't have to keep searching for more. That each moment can be an opportunity to explore, be curious and open and sensual. Instead of looking for what's next or what came before, you'll be right where your feet are, right where your heart is in that moment. So I hope that you have enjoyed this reading, and I'm wishing you happy holidays, happy winter, a happy new year, and 2026. I think that it's going to be a very special year for you. And I'd love to know how this resonates in the comments, what came up for you. If you would like more support, a personal reading, check out the links below. And I will see you in the next one. Love you. Bye.